afternoon, everyone. My name is Chrysoula. I am an educator and a researcher at the Advanced Educational Technologies and Mobile Applications Lab, AETMA Lab, at Democritus University of Thrace. Thank you for being here today and for the opportunity to speak about the topic virtual reality or real connection, the dilemma of the digital age that shapes our everyday way of living, learning, and connecting. Let's begin by shaping a picture of the world we live in today, personalizing the experience and thinking of myself from the very moment I wake up in the morning till the end of the day, most of the day. I am connected. Social media, video conferencing, instant messaging, or video calls with my beloved ones that live far away. Actually, most of them live far away. Even my daughters are not here today, a condition depriving me of physical contact. Going back in time, in retrospect, online learning provided me with a unique opportunity while assuming many different roles and responsibilities as a mother and full-time professional to go on with my studies and professional development that otherwise would not be feasible. This condition contributed to the democratization and equal opportunities for learning, and speaking of myself, with a transformational impact on my life and my career, as it opened new doors and paths, and I expanded my interactions with a global learning community that, though sparsely populated, shares common interests. In many ways, we have never been more connected, regardless of our physical co-presence with people surrounding us simultaneously. But ironically, despite the constant stream of interaction, there's a growing sense of loneliness and disconnection in society. This paradox brings us to an essential question. Are the advancements in digital technology enhancing our human connections or making them more artificial? So let's start with the concept of virtual reality. VR has evolved significantly over the past decade. No longer just a toy for gamers, VR extends into fields like education, tourism, healthcare, and the marketplace. In a virtual environment, anonymity enables us to be anyone, and with the click of a button to go anywhere, experiencing things that otherwise may not be feasible in the real world, or risk-saving with irreversible consequences. Imagine being able to visit historical landmarks, learn in immersive smart classrooms, or practice surgery in a perfectly simulated environment. The possibilities seem endless. VR can mimic reality, which gives us a unique way to bridge geographic and physical barriers and provide time-saving, cost-effective, and risk-free solutions for training purposes. But while VR offers this incredible opportunity, it raises many questions. When does this digital escape interfere with authentic human connection? When does a simulated conversation in VR, no matter how realistic, fail to replace the nuances of a real face-to-face interaction? The convenience of digital communication is undeniable. You can send a message to someone while on the move in seconds, or attend a work meeting from the comfort of your home. Technology allows us to maintain relationships despite time zones, pandemics, or physical distance. But here's the catch. Convenience doesn't always equal connection. The more time we spend in a virtual space, the more we run the risk of losing touch with the depth of real human interaction. A quick text message may suffice in some cases to communicate with our friends, or telework may save time and money, but it lacks the emotion and warmth of face-to-face conversations and interactions with our colleagues, not to mention the blurring of personal and professional time and commitment. Digital connections may foster efficiency, but do they foster intimacy? As we lean more into digital communication, we need to look into its impact on our well-being. Research shows that despite being hyper-connected online, there is a growing sense of loneliness on the rise. There's a concept called alone together, coined by sociologist Sherry Turkle. It captures this phenomenon perfectly. We are together in a virtual space, but emotionally we feel alone. When we interact through screens or headsets, it becomes easy to filter, edit, control our interactions, which can sometimes prevent us from experiencing the full spectrum of human emotions and vulnerability. On the flip side, for some, digital spaces like VR have provided a safe refuge, a way to interact when real-life connections are difficult or impossible. People with disabilities, social anxieties, or those separated by distance find comfort, opportunities for inclusion, and a community to connect with in virtual environments. But the question remains, are these digital connections a substitute for real-world relationships or just a temporary stand-in? Let's also consider how the digital age, particularly VR and social media, is reshaping our sense of identity. On social platforms, we can curate our lives to show the best version of ourselves. Similarly, in virtual reality, you can choose your avatar, customize the surroundings and your interactions. In some ways, this may be liberating. You can explore aspects of yourself that might not be possible in the real world. But it can also create a false sense of self. When we are constantly switching between the real and the digital world, we run the risk of losing our conscience of who we are. The constant exposure to filtered lives and idealized avatars can lead to a comparison trap, leaving us feeling inadequate or disconnected from our true selves. The digital age is making us consider, are we using technology to enhance who we are or to escape from who we are? So, where do we go from here? How do we find a balance between the benefits of virtual reality and digital connections without losing the originality and richness of real human relationships? The key lies in intentional use. Technology, whether it be VR, social media, or messaging apps, should be a tool that enhances our lives. An introverted person with social anxieties that lacks communication and public speaking skills can find a risk-free environment to expose themselves and practice interpersonal skills through the anonymity of an avatar. Digital spaces, especially multi-user virtual spaces, can enhance our civic engagement, inclusion, and social skills by creating immersive experiences that allow users to step into someone else's shoes. In a digital saturated world, it is essential that we develop empathy, such as different perspective taking. Imagine experiencing the world as someone with visual, auditory, or mobility impairments, or experiencing consequences from the victim's perspective in a conflict zone in war, as a bullying incident, or in an area inflicted by an environmental disaster. VR can immerse us into scenarios, storytelling, or role-playing that help us understand historical injustices, social inequalities, or global issues, fostering a more empathetic worldview. I'm not here to share my opinion as an advocate of either the one or the other mode of communication and interaction. In fact, digital tools were invented to help us solve real-world problems. VR environments can be an innovative tool in the hands of inspiring educators that create scenarios for authentic, deep learning that cannot be realized in brick-and-mortar educational settings. But the challenge is in using them mindfully. We need to cultivate digital skills and digital habits that foster purposeful learning instances and interactions in the virtual worlds, a new literacy that we coined with the term critical immersive triggered literacy. Virtual worlds bear affordances such as interaction with multimodal assets that help us contextualize abstract notions of the real world, that enhance our understanding of the world, critically evaluate what it has to offer, and create new content and meaning, reaching high levels of self-actualization, transcendence, and well-being. As such, technology now serves as an extension of our humanity rather than a replacement for it. The future lies not in choosing between virtual and the real, but in learning how to blend them in a way that enriches our lives, promoting ways and tools for working, learning, and living in the world with a focus on socio-cultural belonging, well-being, inclusivity, sustainability, and civic engagement. By embracing the best of both worlds, we can ensure that we empower ourselves to connect more deeply, more meaningfully, and more authentically by critically immersing ourselves in the moment. Thank you.